Hey everybody, let me show you what I got going on here today. iBuyPower and what's going on with this. So this is liquid cooling, but normally that liquid's supposed to be clear. So something very strange is going on here. You could say it's contaminated. But the story on this computer is when it came in, the customer booked an appointment to replace the liquid cooling, the liquid itself, not the system, but the cooler itself. So when it came in, I asked the customer, why do you want to change it? And he said, well, because it's cloudy. Actually, somebody brought it in for the actual customer, so I was talking to him over the phone. But when it came in, it was clear. It had very tiny little bubbles that eventually they do get over time. Very small bubbles, but it was pretty clear. I said, wow, this maybe the little bubbles is what he was seeing as cloudy. Maybe the customer, is finicky and wants it to be, perfect. I don't know. Also, at this top corner, let me switch over. So at this top corner, you see now it's kind of full. So there was a little bit of a gap here. So this water would come in through here, and create bubbles, and then the bubbles would keep traveling. So I thought maybe because it's not full all the way, it's creating those extra bubbles. So then I thought, well, maybe we'll just top it off. Long story short, I just left it running, and I just look at it now. And now I understand what the customer said. I'm going to have to check the temperatures and see how to get into this state. It's so strange. I wish I would have had a video of it prior. I don't think I took a picture. No video, nothing. But it was clear. I thought it was kind of a weird request. And usually when somebody requests something like that, maybe it was getting hot, and that's why they said let's change the liquid. But that wouldn't be the case. It's not like the liquid lost its ability to cool. It could have been something else. So we'll have to get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna search it up and see what would cause it a temperature change, maybe, or I don't know. Maybe the liquid over time just does have some type of degrading. And I'll look it up and we'll figure it out. Either way, I did order the liquid to change it. But if there's something that's actually causing it, another problem with the pump or something like that, I don't know. We'd have to look into that. We put the other liquid, wind up having the same problem. So we'll have to do some homework, and I'll let you know how it goes. That's what's going on right here, right now at PC 911. Hey everybody, so here we are again with the iBuyPower. So I shut it down, let it. I turned it off for a while so all this bubbles can get out. So you can see, that the liquid is actually fine. The liquid is good. Look here, like right there. I mean, you get a reflection, so the liquid is clear. It's these bubbles, the ones that built up on the other video. It's like incredible. So I put it to the side because this is where the water comes in from. So if I put it off to the side, you see that there is no more bubbling around as far as the water splashing in there and creating more and more bubbles, which is, I believe that's really what the problem is. It just needs to be topped off. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to move it around, try to get some of these bubbles out, and just top it off. I'm gonna let it run for a while too, because the last time it took a long time. I noticed it, like hours later. There could be another possible problem, which is I read that there could be if the pumps are cavitating, meaning vibrating, they could themselves just create bubbles even without that splash up there. So this sideways setup would show if that's the case or not. But either way, I'm gonna have to top it off, because here, regardless, this water flow is not great. This liquid flow is not great. So I just wanted to show you that video of this being super clear, and clear. You know, you could see right there is a good view. Those tubes are clear, crystal. So I'll follow up and let you know how did we resolve it. So here you can see I put it back upright, and you can see how much liquid is just basically missing, whether it evaporated or it has a tiny leak, which creates these bubbles here, which just keeps filling up, and eventually, basically, we got a little bubble factory there. So this is the fill tab. We're going to loosen that. We're going to fill it up and run it back and forth and see if we can get all these bubbles out. I did check the temperatures, and the temperatures, were fine, and it looks like we've got a good flow going on. So and that's what's going on right here right now at PC911. So check this out. I took off the fill plug, and look where the water dropped, or the liquid, whatever it is, where the cooler dropped to. So there was, I don't think you have a leak, because when I took this off, I can feel it just, sucking the air into there. So it was like under vacuum. So I think that's just what happened, is that the liquid over time, maybe from heating, kind of evaporated, but there was no way for the air to actually exhaust. I don't know. But you can see there how it dropped. You still see some bubbles there, but I mean, that's normal. I think that was creating the problem. That vacuum also probably created an issue with the pump itself. Kind of weird. So I'm gonna fill it up and see what happens. So I topped it off. How do you top it off? I mean, you get like a little tiny funnel or something, but basically you could get one of these and fill it up. Basically, just pour it right in there. So you can see it's filled to the gills, to the rim. No more splashy water. You can see that that's clear. Now, we still got these little bubbles. But this was, the last time I did the same thing. You had these little tiny ones. And I just let it run overnight, and they cleared up. I wasn't sure if they were gonna, but that's what happened last time. Over here, we still got a little air pocket here, but we'll get rid of that by moving it around. So this here, basically, we'll just flip it around. That air pocket's gonna pop back out here. So we will do some moving around to try to get all that air out the top, and then run it for a while. I'm going to stress it out for a while too, to get that, get all the fans, all the pumps really going, including the pump here for the GPU. And I think the heat may even help a little bit with the disappearing of the bubbles. So, to be continued. And there it is. You can see how crystal clear it is. So I ran it for a while, and like 3 or 4 times I did remove the seal. It gets a little bit of bubbles. Move it to one side, move it to the other. Basically, I did that a couple times to eventually you get all the bubbles out. And you can see all the little bubbles that were in here. They're basically just, kind of stuck to the plastic there. Over the course of time, the last video I did it, I think yesterday, the day before, so it's been over 24 hours. So the little tiny bubbles, eventually they do just kind of integrate into the water. What you want to do though is, when they do eventually integrate into the water, you want to look up here. I'm gonna probably give it one last check. You wind up seeing some bubbles, and then again you just purge it again and refill, purge it again and refill, so you have like, no room for any loose bubbles. Down here, when I had come in today, there was some still here that I guess they kind of got together and formed a little bit bigger of a bubble. So again, just tilt it over to one side, got them to move over, and then again back out the top. So that's all we had to do. I mean, it did, take a little while over and over. I also did stress it out. So the water actually got pretty hot. Temperature hit up maybe 85, something like that. Just to even, I don't know if that's better or worse for the bubbles, but that temperature change back and forth, maybe that, because I did notice that it did have some bubbles then, and I look at it now, and the little tiny ones, they're all gone. So somewhere along the line, I think that temperature fluctuation probably helped those little tiny ones get absorbed or whatever they did, because they did disappear. And I remember the last time that I did this machine, that I had those little tiny ones, that I'm like, how am I going to get those little ones out? I just kind of finished the day and came back the next day, and yeah, they just eventually get absorbed, or I don't know, wherever they go. So that's going to be a wrap. Just refill it. If you did, if you do one of these, right? Hang on to it. If you got a little extra, hang on to it, because once you start seeing, at least in this system here, you can actually just see it right there. Once you start getting, that movement up at the top, basically just keep topping it off. Now, I can imagine in the closed systems, if that's happening, I'm going to guess that happens as well. And maybe that's why eventually over time, they don't cool eventually with it. I mean, if you get enough trapped air in there that starts flowing through the system, obviously the cooling cannot be the same. So eventually that's, aside from obviously the pumps could fail, but if you do get enough air in there, and again, it's not this one got air in there, it's not like a leak. There's not a leak, but I guess over time, somehow it disappears. And that's what's going on right here, right now at PC 911.